Have a drink.
No. I'm driving, so I'm just gonna finish up my exercises and then...
Robert De Niro is a famous American actor and producer, winner of the Oscar and Golden Globe Awards. The public favorite and star of crime films is still active in the film industry today. We will tell you about his career and personal life in this video. Robert De Niro, how the top gangster of Hollywood lives and where he spends his millions. Robert Anthony De Niro Jr. was born on August 17, 1943 in Greenwich Village, New York. His father, Robert De Niro Sr., was a sculptor and an abstract artist, and he met his future wife, Virginia, at painting courses. She also painted and wrote poetry. When Robert Jr. turned 2, his parents separated. The son stayed with his mother, but the father did not cut ties with him. For a long time, the reason for the divorce remained unknown to the boy. But as he grew up, he learned that De Niro Sr. was gay. The actor has German, French, English, Dutch, Irish, and Italian roots. It was the Italian culture that greatly influenced him because he grew up in the Little Italy area. But he was not brought up in Catholic traditions since his mother was an atheist. However, his grandparents secretly baptized their grandson anyway. After the divorce, Virginia worked a lot, and Robert was often left to himself. He was friends with street ruffians who nicknamed him Bobby Milk for his pale complexion. He also often visited his father's workshop and went to the cinema with him. Robert studied at a public school in Manhattan and made his stage debut at the age of 10, playing the Cowardly Lion in the play The Wizard of Oz. This sparked the boy's interest in acting. After the 6th grade, he was transferred to a private school, but a few years later, he entered Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Art and Performing Arts. Robert studied there for only a few days. The competitive atmosphere put too much pressure on him. After that, he changed a few more schools where he managed to gain a reputation for disruptive behavior until at age 16, he left school to become an actor. De Niro attended Stella Adler's courses studying the Stanislavski method and also took lessons from Lee Strasberg. In 1963, Robert got his first movie role, playing a friend of the groom in the comedy The Wedding Party. His fee was $50, but the audience saw this work only 6 years later due to financial problems. Therefore, in many official sources, De Niro's first film is considered to be the French drama 3 Rooms in Manhattan, released in 1965. In the next few years, he got tiny roles on the screen and played on the theater stage. His most notable roles of this period were in the films Greetings, Sam's Song, Bloody Mama, Hi Mom, Jennifer on My Mind, Born to Win, The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight. In 1973, the actor appeared in the drama Bang the Drum Slowly, and at the same time, he met Martin Scorsese, an aspiring but already promising director. Interestingly enough, when they first met, they realized that they had already seen each other many times since they grew up in the same neighborhood. Scorsese invited De Niro to play in his crime film Mean Streets, which brought the actor several awards from film critics.
So who does that leave me to borrow money from but you? I borrow money from you because you're the only jerk-off around here that I can borrow money from without paying back. Right? Right?
With this work, Robert and Martin began a long-term collaboration as well as their strong friendship. The following year, De Niro gained worldwide success thanks to the role of Don Corleone in his youth in the second part of the Godfather film trilogy. Interestingly enough, Robert also auditioned for the first film, but unsuccessfully. But The Godfather Part 2 brought him his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. This was the first time when the winner of the award was an actor who did not say a word in English on screen. In the film, De Niro speaks Sicilian, a dialect of Italian. To do this, Robert trained pronunciation for 4 months.
Ah sì, ma io è solo, noi ci siamo 3. E io è armato e noi ci siamo armati. Perciò per chi c'è la medaglia io hanno scelto moneta.
Then, the audience saw the second joint work of De Niro and Scorsese, the neo-noir drama Taxi Driver.
Let me see your chauffeur's license. How's your driving record?
It's clean. It's real clean, like my conscience.
To prepare for his role, the actor mastered taxi driving skills for 12 hours a day for a month. He also studied the manifestations of various mental illnesses. According to the contract, Robert was supposed to get $35,000, but after receiving the Oscar, the film studio was afraid of demands to raise wages. However, De Niro fulfilled his obligations. Later, he was nominated for a BAFTA award, an Oscar, and a Golden Globe, and the film achieved a cult status. Many of its scenes have been quoted by other directors, including the one in which Robert shows off in front of a mirror with a gun in his hand. Remarkably, it is entirely improvised. On the set of Taxi Driver, the man met actress and singer Diane Abbott. In the same 1976, they got married. They had a son, Raphael, and De Niro adopted Diane's child from her first marriage. Meanwhile, Robert's filmography was replenished with the films 1900, The Last Tycoon, with a fee of $200,000, and New York, New York. In Scorsese's musical, Robert played a saxophonist and studied to play this musical instrument for 3 months. In the following years, the actor starred in the TV miniseries The Godfather Saga and the war drama The Deer Hunter. Robert performed all the stunts in it himself and also fully paid for the insurance for a terminally ill colleague. This work earned him Golden Globe, BAFTA, and Oscar nominations. During the same period, he almost lost his close friend, Martin Scorsese, who became addicted to illegal substances. Often visiting him in the hospital, the actor talked about his dream to star in a film about a boxer. At first, the director refused, but Robert managed to get his way. And in 1980, the film Raging Bull was released on the screens.
Do me a favor. What? I want you to hit me in the face.
What?
I want you to hit me in the face.
Forget about it.
Scorsese later claimed that De Niro saved his life by insisting on returning to work. For this role, the actor gained 60 pounds, learned to box professionally, and even held 3 real fights in Brooklyn, 2 of which he won. He also met boxer Jake LaMotta, who praised Robert's fighting skills. Unfortunately for himself, Joe Pesci also got a taste of them. Robert accidentally broke his rib. It's worth noting that between takes, De Niro remained in character, completely immersed in the role. His efforts were not in vain, and his collection of awards was supplemented with Golden Globe and Oscar statuettes. In the early 80s, the actor starred in the films True Confessions, The King of Comedy, and Once Upon a Time in America, in which he finally played the main character of a crime film. Then he tried his hand in other genres, playing in the melodrama Falling in Love, the dystopian black comedy Brazil, and the historical drama The Mission. In 1987, De Niro voiced the documentary Dear America, Letters Home from Vietnam and appeared in the psychological horror film Angel Heart. At first, he refused this role, but then he changed his mind. At the same time, the crime film The Untouchables was released, which brought him a fee of $3 million.
I grew up in a tough neighborhood. And we used to say you can get further with a kind word and a gun than you can with just a kind word.
He played Al Capone, and in order to better get into character, he found the gangster's tailors and ordered the same clothes as he wore. But he didn't have time to gain extra weight for external similarity, so he wore special pads. After Al Capone, the actor played a representative of the law in the action movie Midnight Run in 1988, and for this role, he spent a lot of time talking to real bounty hunters. His fee was $5 million. In the same year, De Niro became a co-founder of the Tribeca production company, in many projects of which he subsequently starred. The actor also divorced his wife and had a relationship with model Toukie Smith. They did not register their relationship, which did not prevent them from having children. With the help of a surrogate mother, twin boys Julian and Aaron were born. A few years later, the couple broke up. And the list of celebrities' love interests included adult film star Charmaine Sinclair, models Naomi Campbell, and Stephanie Adams. Meanwhile, the Hollywood star's filmography was replenished with the films Jackknife, We Are No Angels, Stanley and Iris, with a fee of $3.5 million, and the Scorsese crime drama Goodfellas. In 1990's biographical drama Awakenings, Robert De Niro played a clinic patient and spent a lot of time observing real patients. During the shooting of one scene, Robin Williams broke his nose. This film brought De Niro an Oscar nomination.
I have sickness. Sickness took me out of the world, and I fought to come back. I fought for 30 years. 30 years. And I'm still fighting.
In 1991, he appeared in the movies Guilty by Suspicion, Backdraft, and Cape Fear.
Look, I realize that you suffered in prison. There's no question.
Suffering? You don't know what suffering is, counselor. Like it says in Galatians 3, have you suffered so many things in vain?
Martin Scorsese became the director of the crime thriller, and it was Robert who persuaded him to take up the job. Moreover, for the sake of this film, the actor gained muscle mass and paid $5,000 to the dentist to give his teeth the right look for the role of a prisoner who had served a 14-year sentence. It took another $20,000 to restore the teeth. For this role, De Niro was nominated for an MTV Movie Award, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar. In the early 90s, the actor starred in the films Mistress, Night and the City, The Boy's Life, and Mad Dog and Glory, on the set of which his nose was damaged again. In 1993, the crime drama A Bronx Tale was released, which became De Niro's directorial debut.
Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't do the right thing, then nothing happens. But when you do right, guess what? Good things happen. You hear me?
In 1994, the actor starred in the horror film Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and while working on the role, he communicated with people who had experienced severe physical injuries. Then he appeared in the melodrama 101 Nights, spending only one day on the set, the sports action movie The Fan, the crime films Casino, Heat, and Sleepers. The fee in the latter amounted to $6 million. In addition, De Niro's filmography was replenished with such works as Marvin's Room, Copland, Jackie Brown, Wag the Dog, Great Expectations, and Ronin, with a fee of $14 million. The actor received another $8 million for the film Analyze This, after which he starred in the crime film Flawless. At that time, reviews of the celebrity's work were becoming more lukewarm, and there were changes in his personal life. In 1997, the man married a former flight attendant, model, and actress Grace Hightower. They met 10 years before the wedding, and in 1998, they had a son, Elliot. Having a child together did not stop the woman from filing for divorce a year later because of her husband's infidelity, but it was not finalized. Back then, the actor was famous for his unwillingness to share the details of his personal life. For example, before the interview, journalists were given a list of topics that they should not ask about. They included politics, religion, family, and others. But no amount of secrecy could help De Niro avoid a scandal when in 1999 he was arrested in Paris on suspicion of participating in an international sex trafficking ring. Robert denied his involvement and vowed never to return to France. Subsequently, however, he broke that promise. In 2000, the films The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, Men of Honor, and Meet the Parents were released. For the latter, De Niro received $13.5 million, an MTV Movie Award, and a Golden Globe nomination. He earned another $15 million for his role in the crime thriller The Score. Another movie of that genre, 15 Minutes, was released the same year. In 2002, De Niro appeared in the action movie Showtime, the fee in which amounted to $17.5 million. In addition, audience saw the actor in the films City by the Sea and Analyze That with a fee of $20 million. During the filming, Robert visited a psychiatric hospital where he discussed with patients the symptoms of his character. In 2003, he became a patient himself when he was diagnosed with a malignant tumor. After the surgery, the cancer went into remission. In that difficult time, the man was supported by his wife, Grace. They decided to cancel the divorce proceedings, and in 2004, they renewed their vows. At the same time, De Niro returned to work and voiced the cartoon Shark Tale, and also starred in the horror film Godsend, the historical drama The Bridge of San Luis Rey, and the comedy Meet the Fockers, for which he received $20 million.
Hold your mic. All right.
Don't worry, your rental insurance should take care of it.
Then, he appeared in an episode of the TV series Extras, the thriller Hide and Seek, voiced the animated fantasy film Arthur and the Invisibles, and in 2006 directed the spy film The Good Shepherd. He worked on this project for 10 years, but the film did not attract a lot of attention from the audience. In 2007, the celebrity appeared in the fantasy adventure Stardust, and in the following years, he starred in the films What Just Happened, Righteous Kill, Everybody's Fine, Machete, and Stone with a fee of $2.5 million. For the sequel, Little Fockers, he received $20 million. In 2010, De Niro and his wife started a foundation that helps disadvantaged women and single mothers. Robert is listed as a co-founder and sponsor, and Grace is in charge of management. In December 2011, they had a daughter, Helena, born by a surrogate mother because of the couple's age. In the early 2010s, the actor played in an episode of the TV series 30 Rock, the films The Ages of Love, Limitless, Killer Elite, New Year's Eve, Red Lights, Being Flynn, and Freelancers. De Niro earned another nomination for the Screen Actors Guild Award and Oscar for his role in the 2012 film Silver Linings Playbook.
But if I win that bet, I win your book.
I like it.
No. No, Patrizio.
I believe in the Eagles. I believe in my son. I'll take the action.
In 2013, the action films Killing Season and The Family, the comedy The Big Wedding, Las Vegas, and the sports drama Grudge Match were released on the screens, in which the actor met Sylvester Stallone in the boxing ring. Then he appeared in the films The Bagman, Heist, Joy, Hands of Stone, The Comedian, and The Wizard of Lies, which brought the actor nominations for the Actors Guild Award, Golden Globe, and Emmy. For the comedy The Intern, De Niro studied the Chinese martial art of Tai Chi, and in the movie Dirty Grandpa, he was not afraid to appear before the audience as a rather ridiculous character. Interestingly enough, to shoot the poster, the actor lifted Zac Efron on his shoulders without assistance.
We have a long-standing bet who's the better golfer. Obviously, I've got the bigger 3-wood.
Good, maybe you can use it to hit your balls right into my vagina.
Holy
We're going inside now.
Robert demonstrated his talents on Broadway, directing the musical A Bronx Tale. He focused on social activities and starred for free in a music video about the African and Middle Eastern refugees. All profits from the song and video were sent to the relevant charities. In 2018, the man broke up with his wife, saying in an interview that he was tired of constant quarrels. According to his acquaintances, Robert and Grace had not lived together for a long time. A long legal battle ensued, during which the woman revealed the size of De Niro's fortune, more than $500 million. Between 2004 and 2018 alone, he made $250 to $300 million. According to the terms of the marriage contract, Grace was owed $1 million for each year of living together, plus $500,000 in cash, an apartment for $6 million, and half the cost of their joint housing. However, she asked the judge for half of the ex-spouse's capital, saying that he hid his real income from her. In 2020, due to new court proceedings, the media learned that De Niro ended up paying $100,000 a month. Due to financial difficulties, he cut the support in half, and the court agreed with this, but the actor had to pay Grace additional $75,000 to help her find a summer home. Robert De Niro met his 75th birthday on the set of the movie The Joker, where he played the late-night talk show host. It was released in 2019, and at the same time, the Netflix platform presented Martin Scorsese's drama The Irishman.
What are you doing in Delaware? Bombing out a laundry place.
As usual, the main role went to De Niro and brought him nominations for the Actors Guild Award, BAFTA, and Oscar. He co-starred with Al Pacino and Joe Pesci, and in order to assemble such a stellar cast, the streaming service paid $105 million. In 2020, 2 comedies starring De Niro were released: The War with Grandpa, about the confrontation of a teenager with his grandfather, and The Comeback Trail. In 2021, the actor was spotted with a new girlfriend, 45-year-old Tiffany Chen, a martial arts instructor whom he met on the set of The Intern. Recently, the media learned that she gave birth to the actor's 7th child, daughter Gia Virginia. In 2022, Robert De Niro starred in the movies Amsterdam and Savage Salvation, and the comedy about My Father recently premiered. In addition, Scorsese's western Killers of the Flower Moon was screened at Cannes. The comedy Inappropriate Behavior, the action movie Tin Soldier, the drama Wise Guys, and the Argentine miniseries Nada are at the post-production stage. He is also working on the crime films Candy Store and After Exile. Receiving multi-million-dollar royalties, De Niro invested them not only in his production company, but also in the restaurant and hotel businesses. Nobu Hospitality LLC is represented on 5 continents and brings a good profit. However, the 2020 border closures hurt the actor's companies, and he even used $28 million in government business support to make things right and pay his employees' salaries. Another source of his income is advertising. Robert promoted Kia Cars, Santander Financial Organization, Hermenegildo Zegna clothing brand, Warburton's bread bagels, and collaborated with the Swiss Ministry of Tourism, talking about the advantages of holidays in this country. He also starred in Scorsese's commercial for American Express credit cards. A significant part of the celebrity's income is donated to charity, but in everyday life he is not very generous. He is known to rarely tip waiters and limo drivers, nicknamed the Actor, which means no money, no dinero. Despite a long career in Hollywood, the actor did not move to Los Angeles, remaining loyal to New York. In 1975, he bought a 5-story townhouse in Manhattan for $190,000 for the fee he received for his role in The Godfather. Inside, there are 4 bedrooms and the same number of bathrooms. There is a terrace on the roof, and there is a barbecue area on the adjacent property. In 2012, this property was sold for $9.5 million. According to other sources, it was $12 million. Over the years, Robert has rented luxury apartments overlooking Central Park and in the West Village, and he also owns apartments in the city center. A fan got into one of the apartments in 2022, but De Niro was able to detain her until police arrived. He has a house in Montauk, New York, with an estimated value of almost $8 million, which previously belonged to the actor's father. De Niro's main home is in Gardner, north of New York City. The 2,200 square foot 18th century mansion is situated on more than 7 acres. The celebrity bought the land in 1997 for $1.5 million and made repairs several times. According to open sources, there are 3 models in the actor's car collection: 2 large American SUVs, namely GMC Yukon XL and Cadillac Escalade, as well as an Italian Maserati Gran Turismo sports car. Robert De Niro has won numerous prestigious awards for his contribution to world cinematography, and in memory of his roles, he collects souvenirs from film sets, from scripts to costumes and props. The actor donated this collection to the film archive of the Harry Ransom Center at the University of Texas at Austin. What was the most memorable De Niro movie you ever saw?
So, that's it.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.